70 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. One of the things that I've always admired is when there are organizations that exist for the sole purpose of helping other people pursue whatever their passions are and to become better people. And I've heard so many good things about junior achievement, and we're going to learn firsthand now. Jessica Blagdon is in the studio. She is the Junior Achievement Program Director for Marion County, which includes a lot of this area, and I think it's headquartered out of Tampa. What I don't understand, she's going to explain as far as that part goes, and everything else, I guess. Jessica Blagdon. Good morning, Jessica. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Have we met before?
I don't think so.
Okay. You sort of look familiar to me a little bit.
Maybe.
So, do you live in Tampa? Oh
No.
no! You just mentioned you live in off air. We
Yeah, I'm
talked
here in
about the
Ocala.
storm. Yeah. Okay. So, how long have you been with Junior Achievement?
I started with Junior Achievement last fall, so about a year and a half.
So it's relatively new for you.
Yep.
Okay. And gosh, you jumped right to the top of the class then, huh?
I guess. I always tend to do that a little faster than
Was that right? What is
I expect in the beginning.
If there was a mission statement, and maybe there is one for Junior Achievement, what would it be? What is the mission of the organization?
Well, we want to empower young people to own their success. We want them to be able to have the tools and the knowledge and the inspiration to be able to do whatever it is that they want to do.
Yeah,
be
yeah.
successful.
Does that include educating? I would think any young person who was attracted to that kind of a message would be kind of that special kind of a young person, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Every once in a while, and I'm not. Oh gosh, I love all people, and I'm a big supporter of young people trying to do good things. But every once in a while, you meet somebody who is the woe is me person, who doesn't understand that the exact opposite is true. Not only are you responsible for your success, but guess what? You might be responsible for your lack of success, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So tell me about your own story. What is your story? What are you pursuing? What is your passion?
Well, I like helping people.
Helping people is your passion.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. When I went to college first years ago, I got a degree in business, and that's all good and fun and important, but it's not really fulfilling. So when I went back for a second degree, I knew that I wanted to go into some sort of a nonprofit.
Okay.
I worked for a YMCA years ago, and that was great. So I knew that that's kind of where I wanted to go with it.
And was there something specific about Junior Achievement? Are there certain programs that attracted you to the organization?
Junior Achievement is just amazing. It's been around for almost 100 years. We have programs that help kindergarten through 12th grade kind of coordinate them together.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the programs we have get high school students that learn the material and then go and teach it into an elementary classroom. And then we also have...
really?
Yeah.
See, what I like about that is I think there's an element of learning when you're teaching.
Exactly.
You know,
Yep.
I learned this a long time ago. I sort of kind of can play piano. And somebody asked me, can you teach me piano? Because I sort of kind of can do it. And you know, I learned it better when I was trying to teach it. Because I said, okay, well,
Yes.
let me show you how to do this. And all of a sudden, I was teaching myself at the same time.
Yes, that's absolutely right. There's a 12th grade program that we have. It's personal finance. And it teaches about budget and credit.
Oh, that's a good one.
And managing money and all that sort of stuff. And when I first had to go into the classroom to teach it myself, it was so different to be able to learn the stuff as I'm teaching the kids and to be able to understand it in a better way. Just understanding how to manage my own money is one thing, but being able to tell someone else how to do it
Yeah, and then
is very different, and it's fun to have.
and then budgeting and going for the discounts and the coupons and all that, right? Is it all part of it?
Well, I don't know that our program really talks about coupons, but it's definitely if I have a volunteer that knows a lot about that, I would definitely encourage them to share that.
I know it helps.
And with all of your programs, because you are a nonprofit, all of the funds stay within the communities that
Yeah.
Junior Achievement serves.
Yeah, all of our funds are obtained through different grants, corporate sponsorship, and private donations. And then everything that's donated within Marion County stays to help programs here in Marion County. If I have a company here in town that donates a bunch of money, then that's going to go directly towards students here in our community.
And how will it be spent? What do they use it for?
There's not really a lot of expenses. 88% of the money that comes in goes directly towards programming, the materials, training, volunteers, and that sort of stuff.
So maybe the better way to understand this is to maybe get specific, not a specific person, but let's make a fictitious person up. Let's say
Okay.
a young lady named Sally. She's
Okay.
14 years old. She hears about junior achievement. She joins.
Well, from the student side, it's a classroom. A teacher would sign up to have a volunteer come and teach the program
Okay.
to her students in the class.
Okay, and what are they teaching? I guess I'm lost on that part.
Okay, that's fine. So, say I have a volunteer. Say Sally is now an adult and she wants to volunteer.
Okay,
She
okay.
calls me and says, "Hey, I want to volunteer for you." I will sit down with her. I have a big packet of materials I'll go through with her, and I'll show her everything about, say, personal finance. She wants to teach a high school class. I'll go through all the materials, and then I'll find a teacher
Okay.
that wants to have a personal finance program taught in her class, and then I'll coordinate them.
Okay.
And then the volunteer goes to the classroom and shares our information and kind of adds her own personal experience and ideas and knowledge.
Okay, and are the students then tested? Is it a one-day event?
It's each program has a certain number of sessions, say 5, 6, or 7 sessions.
Okay.
And it can happen a couple of different ways. Sometimes it's all in one day, where the volunteer will teach each of the lessons back to back, and then they go about, and then we have extra materials that the student can follow up with if they choose. It's optional after that.
So are you the one who chooses which experts in their field get to be the mentors?
Sometimes, yeah. I try to match people up together, but really, you don't need any experience. We provide everything that you need to know. As a volunteer, you get like a volunteer teacher guidebook that gives you all of the information that you need,
So
exactly what you need to share, and then you just kind of add your own.
Okay, so
bit to it.
your recruiting efforts are to find people who can be teachers or mentors.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
okay.
it doesn't need to have. They don't need to have any kind of education background. I
got you. Yeah.
I have no education
So a
background.
truck driver, let's say.
Sure.
He listens to you talking right now, and he says, "Okay, I want to teach about this profession I've chosen."
Oh, I would love to have a truck driver. I've never had a truck driver
Oh.
volunteer.
All right. So here's the guy, and he says, "I'd love to do this and educate the kids about this." So what does he do? He calls you and says, "I'd like to teach not how to drive a truck, but what the profession." Obviously, he couldn't have somebody in the truck,
Right.
but he stands in front of a class and says, "If you ever decide to get into truck driving,
This is
what to expect."
This is what you have to do. This
Really?
is kind of where it's gonna take you. And
Well, I want to sit in that classroom. I don't know how to drive a truck.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of career programs, and those are
Okay.
fun for people in different fields. We get a lot of bank managers. We have some college students. Actually, UCF, we have a classroom of students that are in an education program that volunteer for us every year, or the teacher gets their students to volunteer for us every year. So they don't have really any work experience, but they're able to translate the material that we have into something that's educational for them.
Joe's telling me that he got started in radio through Junior Achievement.
Right.
Right? So I don't know, I didn't ask him, but that would, so somebody in broadcasting, let's say, could be Robin or me, right? Or,
Right.
or Joe.
Right.
Could a volunteer go into a classroom and explain about broadcasting?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, if you decide, you can tell me what you're comfortable teaching.
And I'm sorry, do the children then ask questions like, "Hey, how much does it pay?"
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The whole purpose is to get the students engaged and involved.
Okay.
I mentioned there are several different sessions in a program. Each one has some things that you would talk about, some talking points, and some vocabulary words just to kind of explain what it is. And then there's some sort of an activity or a game that gets the students involved with the volunteer, and you really
Nice.
get to talk and have conversations and have fun.
And what you have sent us is that you currently have a program at Lake Weir Middle School and also Shady Hill Elementary.
Yeah, at Lake Weir Middle School, every year for the last several years, we come in and we have a volunteer in every single one of the 8th grade classes. We had about 30 volunteers, enough to cover the
Wow.
19 classes of 8th grade students. So during the one day, we had volunteers that come in and taught all of the lessons so that every single 8th grade student at Lake Weir Middle was taught about economics and finances. And
Jessica Blagdon is
Pretty
our
amazing.
guest with Junior Achievement. We are learning a lot, and we'll be back to learn more after this.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Windy and cooler Monday with intervals of sunshine and clouds. Monday's high 72, 74. Chillier with skies clearing out, a diminishing wind as well. Monday night low 46 inland to 52 at the coast. And sunny skies quite nice out Tuesday, high 72, 74. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Michael Stack.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Gene and Debbie would like to thank you for another successful year of business. We want to wish everybody a safe, healthy, and prosperous 2017. We are ready to be of service with our pasture mowing. 352-629-2440. Locally owned and operated. Experienced and reliable. Commercial and residential. Licensed and insured. Powell Gene, Gene at yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. 352-629-2440. Proud United States veteran.
Sunrise Automotive, this is Matt.
Hey, Matt, it's Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Listen, we're going to be doing some traveling, and I need to make sure the car is in good shape.
Why don't you just bring it on by? Let us check it out. We can check all your belts, your hoses, your tires, all your fluids. In out of town, is that up north in the cold?
Yep.
Okay. Let's check your antifreeze. Also, let's make sure your washer fluid has got alcohol in it so it doesn't freeze up north, because that makes for a rotten day. And let's check your air pressure in your tires. Let's look at your brakes, make sure everything is safe and secure there. Let's go through it and just make sure everything is ready to go on the road. You due for an oil change?
Yep.
Whenever you come in to get your oil change, we always check your belts, your hoses, all your lights. We go through and make sure that everything is working properly. We check all your fluid levels. We do that every time you come in to Sunrise Automotive.
So just call you back at this number?
Yeah, just give me a call back at 690-1993 whenever you're ready to come in. And you can drop it off, leave it with us, whatever's most convenient for you. Look forward to seeing you at Sunrise Automotive.
Hey Ocala, this is Kelly Hart, Executive Editor of Ocala Magazine. Did you know last year Ocala Magazine won more awards and excellence than any other publication in Florida? And this year, Ocala Magazine was named Best Consumer Magazine in the state. Now you can join me every Friday at 10 a.m. on Ocala Magazine Radio, where we bring the pages of Ocala Magazine to life, right here on The Source. Ocala Magazine thanks you for making us number one. And remember, there is only one Ocala Magazine.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to tune in to the first and third Thursday of the month at 11 a.m. to learn about the latest advances in healthcare available right here at home. Ocala Regional Medical Center and Strive have teamed up to bring the most qualified medical professionals on the air to answer your questions and bring information to help you in your decisions concerning your health. Again, that's the first and third Thursday. Health matters.
All right, 18 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. It's amazing how much you can learn in 10 minutes. We've been speaking to Jessica Blagdon for 10 minutes, and we've already got a better understanding about what Junior Achievement does. And if you are listening and you've also kind of got your interest piqued, and maybe you've got an area of expertise that you could help out by volunteering, we're going to find out during this part of the interview how we do that, how we hook up with Junior Achievement so we can do that. But you also mentioned to Robin during the break that there's a bowl-a-thon.
Yes.
Is that a fundraiser that you're doing?
It is.
Okay.
It's actually, as part of JA Tampa Bay, it's our signature fundraising event. Each of the different county areas do it every year. For us, it's coming up on February 12th. All of the information I have available if someone wants to contact me. Our website's jamarion.org.
Okay.
But the bowl-a-thon is going to be at the Galaxy East Lanes out on Maricamp on February 12th. And we're looking for corporate sponsors. We have a lot of companies that are participating, and we have room to add more at this point still. There's different levels of sponsorship that include a certain number of bowlers that can participate. It's such a fun, family-friendly event. Companies can raise money or can just do a sponsorship. We have a couple of companies that aren't able to actually participate in the bowling, so they've decided to sponsor, where we'll advertise for them at the bowl-a-thon, but they've donated their bowling lane spots to a group of students. So we're working on allowing some of the students that we serve to be able to actually come and bowl with us.
All right.
How fun.
So if we wanted to bowl to help out and have fun at the same time, what are the details? How much is it to?
Well, the smallest sponsorship is in order to get a big lane banner and be advertised, is a $125 silver sponsorship.
Okay.
There's also a $250 and a $500. And each of those come with a certain number of bowlers that are includes 2 games and shoes.
Okay.
And
The shoes are so important, aren't they?
yes, we don't want anybody falling down the lanes.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a fun time. But it's fun. People bring their families out and just kind of hang out. We've got a DJ that comes and plays and helps us. We do some
nice.
some raffles and some giveaways and.
So tell me about one of the programs that has impressed you. Maybe somebody volunteered and you said, "Wow!" Like you seemed to brighten up when I mentioned the truck driver. Is there any program that you've had that you've sponsored or worked with that you because you said you have a lot of bankers, which is ultra important, obviously.
Right.
But do you have any farmers or
we have
Canadians?
The college students honestly surprise me a lot, and we have a few volunteers that are retired folks that drive up from the villages to volunteer with us, and those are the people that surprise me the most. I worked with a volunteer in a classroom. He wasn't comfortable being on his own, so I decided that I would sit in with him and kind of help him out with it. And I was just so impressed at how engaged the kids were.
And what was his expertise?
Honestly, he didn't really go into it. He was retired, but he was just so engaged with these students. He was a very elderly man, and he was kind of slow talking, and I didn't really think that the kids, to be honest, and he's wonderful.
Was he motivational speaker, that kind of a guy?
Not really. He was kind of just quiet and shy, and like I said, he was nervous to be in the classroom on his own, so I sat with him, but he would have been amazing. Even he didn't need me at all. He was.
Oh, but what did the children learn from him?
Well, they just asked a lot of questions about
being old.
Well, not about being old, but about understanding how to make career choices and understanding and budgets and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was his area of expertise then, was budgeting and
right.
And
He had a lot of experience in business.
Career choices. It'd be interesting to find out if he made career choices. You know, sometimes you make a career choice and you stick with it way too long. Like you should have.
That was one of the things I do remember now that you say that. I remember one of the things he said that he changed his course a few times. He had served in the military. Maybe he was a truck driver. Maybe he wasn't. No, he wasn't. But something they had him traveling. I don't remember what it was, but it was just interesting.
I mentioned to you that I have a daughter-in-law named Jessica.
Right. And
she's a teacher at Lake Weir. But, before she was a teacher, she was working on an ambulance with EMT.
She was an EMT.
EMT.
Oh, that's such a difference.
So that's a career choice change.
Right.
And I guess she decided soon into it that it was not for her. And teaching is her thing, so.
That's fun.
It is interesting. Okay, so the children walk away from these programs. So how does it interface with the curriculum of the school? I would imagine that if we said, "Hey, we've got an expertise in whatever," we're gonna what are we gonna something, and so if we were to teach. Wouldn't we be taking time away from the teacher for whatever else was on their
yes,
agenda?
Yeah, there. It does take some time out of the classroom, obviously, in order to have us in there. But all of our programs correlate with the Florida Sunshine State Standards, follow along with the Common Core curriculum, and it helps. It just enhances what the teachers are already teaching. A lot of times, budgeting and understanding that you can make career changes. One of the games that we play in the Economics for Success, the 8th grade program, is a kind of a game, kind of like the game board Life, where you start out with this choice. You have to choose if you want to follow the work path or the college path.
Right.
And then at some point in the game, you get to rechange.
Always take the college path.
You can change your choice, and it's fun, and it really gets the kids to kind of think about.
That's interesting. Okay.
The different things that can happen to them, and remind them that sometimes they can make all these great choices, and it doesn't really apply really, because all these different things in life are going to happen to you.
That is maybe probably the bigger lesson for the kids is, it's fun to learn about driving a truck or doing a radio show or being a teacher or any of those things, but I'm guessing each one of those people who talks about those things either settles with a child, you know what I mean? They're either interested in that or they're not.
Right.
But the other, the game of life thing you just described, that applies to everything.
Exactly.
Whatever you want to do, that stuff applies. Yeah.
And the most important thing is that you are giving the students a chance to have an open dialogue with their parents, because sometimes the parents try to force the child into a career choice because of the money or because of, because your dad and your grandfather was this, so now you got to follow in their footsteps. And this will enable the child to have an open dialogue to express themselves what they want to do and make the parents more acceptable if they can have this conversation.
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the things, is giving them different adults to speak with. A lot of the parents, like you said, will try to guide them towards a certain path, or some parents won't really care what they do and they don't teach them anything. So that's kind of where we come in to give them the tools and the information that they need to convince their parents that they want to follow a different path, or to realize that they don't have to follow the path of their parents, or they can if they want to, but we'll give them the tools and the knowledge to do that.
That's amazing.
On YouTube, I've been watching some of those TEDx talks.
Oh, yeah.
Those things. That sounds like this is like TEDx for kids.
A little.
Except I think you've been doing it longer.
Yeah.
I think TEDx is relatively new, right?
Yeah, TEDx is more of a kind of a video-based thing, which is amazing. I've watched a bunch of them, but we've started in 1919 as an after-school JA company, which I think is what Joe did. It's JA company where the students actually work with a volunteer to actually create a real product and sell it, or whatever it is. I think that's how we got into broadcasting.
Yeah.
Or and that program still happens now. It's just we've added a bunch of different kind of programs and ideas.
But you also enforce responsibility, that
Yes.
it really is up to the student to take responsibility for their own life.
Exactly. They have to make the choices. They have to start now, even as young as elementary and middle school, they have to start making the choices and thinking about what kind of classes they're going to take when they go into high school. When they are in high school, they have to think about the kind of reputation they're building for themselves online. They have to think about all of these different things and how that's going to affect their future.
Oh, yeah, the social aspect of it.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Real hard.
Our challenge, Jessica, is to, when we have a guest, to figure out what you do and then figure out how we can help you.
Okay.
So I'm thinking the best way we can help you is to give the listeners information so that they can either call you or check it out, the programs.
Yeah.
So what would you suggest? You already gave us jamarion.org.
jamarion.org has all of the information on our different programs. It has some contact information there, some information on how you can donate, how you can get involved as a teacher or even as a volunteer. You can sign up as a volunteer there. You can also give me a call, 352-629-1715.
Okay.
And I'd love to talk with anyone. Another thing I'd like is anyone that's local that has some sort of a history with junior achievement, either as a student or as a volunteer or as a teacher or someone who knows someone who is involved with JA. I would love to hear these stories. Like I said earlier, I've only been with JA for a year and a half, so I don't have a lot of the history, and I'd love to hear more about how it's affected people locally.
Oh, wow. I would love to hear that, too. So you were never one of those students in one of those classes?
I didn't know about junior achievement until I saw the job opening, and then fell in love.
Well, you're the perfect person for it,
So
I think.
could somebody come in and say, look, I don't have any job thing, but I've traveled a lot. Can I talk about what it's like to travel? No, that's not me, because I wish I traveled a lot.
Well, yeah. You don't have to have really any kind of experience whatsoever. That's the beauty of it, is not having experience is... It's a type of experience, and we will give you all of the information that you need to make sure that the students have the tools and the information, but the rest of it's just a bonus. Whatever kind of experience the person has, even if that experience is, I have no life experience, that's a story to share.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good one.
Do you know, I used to do activities. I was an activities director for an assisted living facility. This is like 18 years ago.
Okay.
And I had a guy come to me one time, and lots of people would want to come in, and you could read between the lines. They really want to sell insurance. They want to talk about things, and then you really find out it's about selling insurance. Well, anyway, so I had to say no to a lot of them. But one guy came in and he said, hey, I took a trip to Europe or someplace he went. He said, I got some slides. Can I show my slides and do a narrated show? I said, that sounds fun. Oh my gosh, we're almost out of time. But anyway, so that sounds like something that you might consider also, right?
For sure.
Yeah. Jessica, thank you so much. That time went too quick, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
All right, so go to jamarion.org, call Jessica at 629-1715. If you can help volunteer or help donate money or go to the bowling tournament, all of the above work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was fun. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. President Trump tweeting this morning that it will be a busy week, starting off with a breakfast